Hello guys, how's it going? Dalaran here. Today is not your average rogue video. Actually, it's not a rogue video at all. It is actually an elemental shaman video. Why do I have elemental shaman in my video? Why do I have it on your screens right now? So, long story short, I decided to give elemental shamans a try on the beta. And if you guys saw that video, you would see just how excited I was. I was like a kid in a candy store, man. It was really cool seeing Shaman, especially after whatever happened to it in Warlords General and the changes that happened to the spec in Legion, and I just enjoyed the hell out of it. I thought it was great. I thought it was awesome, and I'm pretty happy with how Elemental Shamans are in the beta. But then I decided to give it a try on the pre-patch live servers, and I feel like I fell in love again. And definitely is not the spec. Elemental Shaman isn't a class that's going to kill off rogues for me. It isn't going to be a class that I'll just decide to run instead of rogues altogether. But it is definitely one of my most favorite classes besides a rogue from here on out. I don't really know how I feel about Shadow Priest mechanic, the Void Form, Insanity. I'm not sure if I'm on board with it completely, but I definitely am on board with whatever they did to Elemental Shaman, and I just wanted to talk about it in today's video. First of all, if you don't play Elemental Shaman or haven't ever played Elemental Shaman, I feel like Elemental Shaman is one of the coolest alts I've ever had, and I remember playing it back in Pandaria. I think what originally drew me to Elemental Shaman was the fact that you are a caster with a decent amount of mobility. You have different amount of CC, like the way you deal with melee is different, like Frost Mage roots enemies, Warlocks are tanky and the fear enemies over and over and over. Fire Mages have Dragon's Breath, Shadow Priests have Fear. As a Shaman you had a knockback, and you had slows and roots, and you could hex and stun with a totem, so I thought that was very, very unique. I thought it was interesting, just the whole totem mechanic, because you could drop totems on one side of the wall, run on the other side of the wall like a healing totem, and it would keep healing you. So you could kind of like bait melee or bait certain range to swap off of you and go hit the totem while you ran away. And having a lot of mobility and damage without having to pop cooldowns, I thought was so unique to the spec. I thought the whole idea of lava bursts being able to deal decent damage up to like 100k back in Pandaria, which is only like 100k. I mean, everybody had for about 600k health, so 100k hit would be pretty massive. But I thought it was just so cool. The fact that you can deal a chunk of damage to the enemy when you get that proc. Oh, it felt so satisfying. I mean, you were kind of a squishy class, sorta, kinda. You didn't have to worry about your positioning as an elemental shaman. You did have to worry about casting and knowing how to juke melee, which I never learned how to. But it's not because, you know, it's not because I didn't try. I did give it a go, but I didn't really main shaman. I've played rogue and I main rogue, and I just was watching out to make sure I didn't get juked rather than juking melee. Anyway, I had a blast playing it back in Pandaria, and in Warlords General they basically changed it. They took a lot of mobility away. Basically all the cool things that made Shaman what it was and what people wanted to play, why people wanted to play it. They basically went as far away from that as possible. At least that's how I felt. That's what they did for Warlords of Draenor. And I just didn't even bother picking up Shaman. I didn't bother leveling mine. I did try it for a little bit, and then it's like the more I play it, the less I like it. So yeah, didn't really go for it. But now that Legion came out and I tried it on the beta and it was so much fun, I decided to give it a try on the live servers, and I thought it was just such a cool class, and probably is going to be my alt class that I play whenever I'm not on my rogue. I feel like I mean, it's definitely not a Shaman of Pandaria, which is what I enjoyed the hell out of, but it's different types of Shaman. I can't say if it's better or worse. For me, I'm just happy to have a fun spec that has decent amount of mobility, still has a decent amount of burst. Basically is the same old that you know from back in the day, a shaman that runs around flame shocks, lava bursts, and lightning bolts targets, and especially better spec when you get your PvP talents and artifact weapon together. So I don't know, if originally I was thinking maybe I'll give up on Shadow Priest, and I might still play Shadow Priest for a while, but Elemental Shaman, oh my god, so much fun, dude. I had a blast. The fact that you have a lot more flexibility in your shocks, Frost Shock, Earth Shock, and Flame Shock. First of all, I love that altogether. I feel like having a whole Maelstrom mechanic, which kind of lets you be a little bit more flexible in what you want to do. And it basically dictates like when you can burst. You feel like you have a little bit more control with Maelstrom, because it's not like a chance to get your lightning shield a stack until 20, and then you shock enemies for extra damage with I forgot what ability was called, but basically will stack damage towards your Earth Shock. It's just a bit easier to manage from a rogue's perspective, because you have a bar that you can just watch and you can figure out what you want to do with that bar from there. So as a rogue, it's just so convenient. Then we also have just the fact that shocks are off of cooldown gives you a lot more flexibility as a shaman what you want to do. And I feel like the talents, at least the class talents so far, are really well done for Elemental Shaman. I feel like a few of them could be a little bit better, maybe like some buffs here and there. Because in some cases, like, well, the other two are kind of crap, so there's only one that I can use for PvP. Might as well do it. And I was like, you know, being able to have the concept of, oh, you can choose this ability or that ability. You can use between two different spells that accomplish different roles. And I don't know. I basically just want to talk a bit about here for you guys about Elemental Shamans and how I feel about them on the pre-patch servers. I'm currently loving Elemental Shaman. Such a fun spec, such a fun class, and if you had a Shaman in the past, I would basically just tell you, hey, I feel like it's a good time to go polish off the dust off of your old Shaman and give them a solid good try yet again. I think you will enjoy the living hell out of the spec. I know that I am. I know that I'm enjoying it tremendously. It's just so much fun. Like, you just can't say no to the spec. It is, I don't know, I'm just giddy about it, honestly. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments below what you think about Elemental Shamans. Maybe it's something you will want to try. And if you do try it, let me know in the comments below and tell me how you feel about it. And I would also love to hear from people that play Elemental Shaman on the regular. And hear your thoughts about, is Elemental Shaman better from Warlords? Or is it worse? Is it good for PvP? Is it bad for PvP? Basically, give me the nitty gritty that you guys would know. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.